Hey, welcome back. We are on lesson 5 today of A Course in Miracles, and as always, this is a really powerful one for you. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Kara Michelle, and I'm here to help you live your truth. Now, today's lesson is I am never upset for the reason I think. And you can also use different words. So I am never angry for the reason I think. I am never scared for the reason I think. And for example, it says here is like when you have a specific emotion coming up. So if you're angry about something at work, for example, it would be, I'm not angry at this situation or this person for the reason I think. So you can be as specific or as general as you want, but the whole premise behind this one, which is really interesting, is that we start to uncover that there are so many things going on beneath the surface of our emotions. So if we think about when you are feeling really upset, and let's just continue with that example of something going on at work and it's kind of triggering you, and I talk about this with my clients a lot inside Conquer Your Mind, which is my 90-day program, about triggers and the root causes of these things. So oftentimes we have this really strong emotion showing up in the present moment. We react in that moment accordingly, and we think that it's relevant to just that thing. But like 99% of the time, we're not actually angry about what we think we're angry about. It's usually about something more than what's actually going on in the present moment. It's about all of those little pieces, all of those layers, and those things that have added up over time. And so by practicing today's lesson of I am not angry at this situation for the reason I think, or I'm not upset with so-and-so for the reason I think, it brings about so much awareness. And I want to share an example from my own life today that I think everyone can relate to, in terms of when you are kind of feeling insecure or starting to have your own this hair is just like, why is the wind only carrying like one piece of it? Okay, so when you have a situation that maybe brings about some insecurities in you. So for example, today there was someone I was messaging, and a friend of mine, and like I didn't hear back from them, and there were like I'd kind of been like vulnerable in sharing something, and then I never really heard anything back, and I was like a little bit triggered, and it brought about these insecurities. And immediately I started to create these stories in my mind about what was going on. And I hope you can take me seriously with this hair blowing everywhere, as I try to talk about like a very vulnerable and like honest subject. But where was I? I was starting to make up all these stories, and because of this work, I'm really good at catching it very quick. So I noticed like, okay, Kara, these thoughts are not actually helping your situation at all, because now you're just like making an assumption, or you're trying to create a story and an excuse, or trying to come up with a reason for why this is happening and why they didn't reply yet, or like all these different stories. And it's from this place that our pain body gets activated, which stores a lot of pain and trauma from past memories. So especially when it comes to insecurities and stuff like that, it's really strong emotions that come through. So when we start to notice that, wait a minute, I'm not actually upset for the reason I think, or I'm not actually upset at this person that I thought I was, you know, for me today, it wasn't actually that I was upset with them or feeling hurt about them, or even worried, because like I knew I would hear from this friend later on. So it wasn't even that, but I could go, okay, I'm not actually upset for the reason I think. What is the reason? You know, what is that underlying reason? And this is a huge thing that I do talk about so much in all of my different videos and inside my program, is that awareness of what is the actual root cause, what is actually causing this trigger for you right now, because it's always deeper than what's just on the surface. So whatever shows up for you in the present moment is here to mirror it back to you and reflect it back to you, but it's not really that thing that's causing you to feel a certain way. So by going through lesson 5 and creating this awareness of, you know what, I'm not actually upset for the reason that I thought I was. It's actually because this same thing happened in the past and whatever played out, and I'm still kind of carrying that wound, or it's because I noticed that it made me feel insecure, it made me feel small, it made me question myself, and so then I feel hurt to be in that position, so then I get upset or get reactive or start to project certain things in the situation. So this awareness is so powerful at helping you really understand what is going on and what the true reason is that you're feeling these certain ways. So one of the things it says in here is that you can always start this off. I hope you can't hear that boat going by. It's going to get a little bit loud. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. And then you start to implant, okay, I'm not upset about this for the reason that I think. So it really helps you to understand that there is no such thing as a small or a big upset. There is no such thing as a small or big are labels that our ego minds have created, and because our minds are always looking for that duality and that comparison, so they speak in that language. The ego mind speaks in that language. Source, energy, and the universe do not speak in that language. There is no difference between big or small, between easy or hard. Everything is energy. So when you look at upsets or emotions or anger, right, there is no such thing as a small thing, a small anger, or like a big anger, because ultimately they all are disturbing your peace of mind. They're all getting into your energy field. They're all showing up and impacting you. And if left unresolved, they're all going to continue to spiral and build and eventually erupt, which is why, as we talk about triggers, you can understand how suddenly like something small could happen and it triggers you into a reaction that is way more than you needed to have, but it was the buildup that caused it. And if that's something you can relate to, definitely check out this video here, because I talk all about the inner child wound and understanding why you might get triggered and notice yourself in kind of like explosive anger or really getting frustrated quick. So that video will help you with that for sure. So the last part it mentions in here is to look through whatever's causing this distress, and you can always say like, I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. And I really love this because it's kind of setting the intention to lump everything together. So I cannot keep one little anger and let everything else go. I can't keep one memory of pain and sadness and expect to let all of the other things go. It doesn't work that way. So this is all about like, let's put them all together. For the purpose of this exercise, I will regard them all as the same so that I can let go of all of them. And I can see that I'm not actually upset or angry for the reason I thought I was. And let's just heal, release, move forward from these negative emotions that are otherwise showing up and blocking you. So you can search your mind for about a minute or so, it says in here, and apply that. And so then later on you could say it as like, I'm not worried about this example, or I'm not worried about this for the reason I think. I'm not depressed about this for the reason I think. Basically any kind of emotions that are coming up for you and are really strong, and have that kind of negative connotation or negative pull to them. It's getting clear on like, okay, I'm not actually feeling this for the reason I think. There is something more to it. And again, from that space is where you can then uncover what that more is that's showing up and creating that emotion. And then you can do the work on releasing and healing from that. So give this a try. Make sure you share in the comments your experience with it and your thoughts on this. I know this is a really good one for myself all the time, but funny that it kind of came up today and really was something I was thinking about even before having read this lesson to film this video. So you are never upset for the reason you think. You're never angry for the reason you think. There is always a deeper cause, and as I said before, usually the people or circumstances are actually just mirroring your internal beliefs or your inner feelings. So it's your self that's being triggered because you're feeling insecure now, or you're feeling like you're not enough, or you're feeling like they let you down, or you're feeling defensive because you just want to be loved and you want to prove yourself. It's that inner wound that's coming through and causing the negative emotion, but then you're feeling and projecting that negative emotion on someone else. It's enough of that. I will see you guys on the next video. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications if you enjoy and you want to continue working through this with me. If you haven't got the Course in Miracles book, I've got a link down below so you can grab the book if you want to join along and work through it together. If not, stick around and work through the videos anyway, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.